Hey, Boo! Welcome to the show that's on in the evening, formerly known as the Mike Davis Show, because tonight, baby, we are Davey's Divas are in the house. So excited. We have such special guests in studio. We're going to be talking about an incredible benefit that's coming up on December 14th. My fierce and fabulous friends are in studio, ready to rock and roll. We got Clay behind the scenes, making all the buttons work and making sure our sound is fabulous. He's the sound guy, everybody. Everybody knows that. So before we get into our fierce and fabulous friends, let's get some money. Let's get paid. I want to make a special announcement to Blue Water Jewelers. They have a big event coming up on December 17th. Shop like a man, look like a superhero. Ooh. Shop like a man is happening at Blue Water Jewelers on December 17th. Spend $250 or more and get a free gift card and a chance to win a gift basket. Forget it, ladies. This is only stuff that men want, apparently. Okay, I'd love to know what that list is, right? Visit Blue Water Jewelers store for a free beer, tequila. Okay, now you're saying my name. Okay. Big savings, giveaways, and more. Free gift with every purchase. You won't want to miss this event. See you there. Shop like a man, December 17th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Also, Bozard Ford Lincoln. We love them in St. Augustine. They're the exclusive dealership of the 904 now. I am very, very proud to say that. Their goal is to make sure your team and experience of buying a car is stress-free, fun, and enjoyable. Bozard is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business since 1949. That's 74 years, baby. That's a long time, and it's still looking taunt and fierce. Bozard Ford Lincoln has been a recipient of numerous dealer awards, including being ranked #1 automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer Rater. Bozard Ford has also won a back-to-back President's Awards, which is the highest honor given by Ford Motor Company. Check them out today and online at bozardford.com. We love them. They're amazing. Hi, Letty. Hi, Bo. Hey, Solar Stick, established in 2006. Solar Stick is a local portable power company proudly committed to American manufacturing, constant innovation, and creating jobs right here in St. Augustine, Florida. Solar Stick's focus on providing solutions for self-sufficiency helps users all over the world complete missions and saves lives. Solar Stick, changing lives, saving lives, and reviving American manufacturing. All right. Well, without further ado, my two fierce and fabulous ladies are here today. We've got Susan Swearingen and Cathlene Miner in the house tonight.
So excited.
Hey, you guys have something super special coming up, and I'm so pumped to jump into it.
Yes.
Tell me, what's going on?
Oh, my goodness. Well, you know, Cathlene and I, we have lots of ideas.
Always.
And so one of them is this collaborative fashion show.
Oh, I love this. Okay.
So we really thought, well, how do we really showcase strong women? Mm-hmm. It's called Courage and Couture.
Ooh, I like that.
A celebration of strength. So it's really about fashion and empowering women, as fashion does.
Right.
So Cathlene, with her amazing organization, right, she's actually going to be a model.
You're going to do it?
I am. It's going to be so much fun.
Girl, I haven't seen you walking. I'm so excited.
Oh, yes. You've got to be there.
Oh, this is fun. So,
it is fun.
Hopefull Handbags is tied into this whole...
Absolutely.
Okay, so yeah. Tell them a little bit about, so in case we have some new viewers, some new watchers.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about Hopefull.
Okay, so Hopefull Handbags is a nonprofit organization where we assist survivors of domestic abuse and their children. And we do that at a local and global level. So what that means is anything that's donated, whether it be money or in-kind donation, stays within the area that it's donated in.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Oh, yes, absolutely. The only time that's different is if there's a special project that we're doing and you know that what you're donating is to something else.
Wow. Okay. So like when you were doing like the water towers,
correct,
right? That was
everybody knew when they were donating to that. That is going to the water tanks, to rural schools in Kenya. However, any of the handbags that people donate in this area, they go out to this county and the 5 surrounding counties. Mm-hmm. And that is with every area that we're in. So we are basically a local organization that makes a global impact. Cool. Because what we're doing is spreading also awareness of domestic abuse, giving people a safe place to reach out to. We connect with, literally shelters all over the world. I haven't talked to them all yet, but at some point I might have, because every day is different. And then we collaborate depending on, so I just happen to live in this area. So this is where we are doing our events to raise money and awareness in this area. People that are in other areas of the United States, other countries, Ireland, Northern Ireland, Europe, Caribbean, I mean, you name it, they're doing the same type of thing in their area. And they've taken our format since we started here in St. Johns County in 2017. They take our format and they cater it to what their community needs.
So what does that look like as a CEO, starting on the local, like a hyper local level, and then actually really expanding that to a global level? That's got to be 550,000 miles per hour for you. Like, how do you balance all of that?
Yeah, you know, it was, especially when it started spreading. And then I started realizing, okay, you start to realize, how do I make this work long-term for long-term sustainability and also cater to different communities? And so that's when what we do is we have a president and CEO in every country that we're in.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. So then I'm on the board there. Of course, we are kind of the flagship here, but still we're delegating then, right? So they're doing what's right for their country and then going down into their communities. It's like a tree.
Different cultures have different vibes, right?
Absolutely.
Is that something you have to dance and balance?
Yes, and I've learned a lot over the years.
Okay.
Definitely have learned a lot. So
I mean, it's a man's world. How's a woman like a queen like you like going to balance through that? Like, do you have to get on there with elbows on your table? Like,
well, you know what's interesting is so many women and men are coming to the forefront of, you know what, this isn't the way we need to be anymore. Like we're in like, you know, out in the 2000s here. I don't even know what year it is anymore. Right?
I love you.
We're in 2023.
We're almost done 2023.
We're here now. And so many guys are coming on board. So for instance, like our CEO and president in the Caribbean is a man.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Stinger Robinson, absolutely amazing guy. He's like, I just have to give him a little shout out. Seriously. Like he is like same age as me. So he's 52 or going to be 52 soon. He is ripped.
I love
it. He's been in martial arts for over 40 years.
Okay.
So when it comes down to we have three pillars, and then I could talk about this all day. And
I love it. Please go.
We have three pillars. The main one is the handbags, right? We donate once loved handbags. The community donates them in. We fill them. We give them back out within the communities to raise hope. They have necessities that survivors need. And we've been told so many times that this isn't just a handbag. This handbag is filled with hope. It's filled with self-confidence, self-esteem. And even when the kids see their moms get these handbags and they're going through them, they're like, their kids are smiling. Because, right, who's not smiling when they see their parents smiling? Right. So it kind of has a ripple effect. It starts that process of them getting into our programs if that's what they need to do, or somebody else's. Because we have two programs. One's called Shine and one's called New. They stand for things. We have to get them. Number one is shelter. Then we work on habits. Shelter and safety. And then there's habits, getting into the right routine. Right. And then you have independence, right? What's it like to live an independent life? Because typically they weren't. New way of living, and then empowerment. And then the new program has to do with jobs.
How long does all this take, though? I'm sure it takes some time, right?
We work with people years.
Yeah,
years. I mean, to really get through a program like this, and our committed people, statistically ladies that have gotten through these programs, do not go back to abusive situations, and they are literally soaring.
But how do you get that buy-in? Like, how do you get them to convince? Like, yes.
Well, it takes work, and but everybody has to know and be ready. I guess that's another thing. So we can't help everybody because not everybody's ready.
Right. True.
And everybody's in a different place. And of course, it depends on when they come to us. If they come to us when they're still in that abusive situation, that adds to the time, right? Because it could take months to years to get them out because they're not ready yet. But we're there. We're there. Once they get out, next step. Once they get out. Now, myself, we are thinking, 5 steps ahead. Yeah. We're always like, okay, where do we go here, here, and here? But when we're working with a survivor, we're working on one step at a time. We're always planning on what the next thing is, but we got to go one step at a time. Right. So that is part of the base of what we do. Second thing is self-defense. We are very, very much an advocate on self-defense.
I saw this in Ponte Vedra, right? You were
Absolutely.
doing okay.
It's our second year doing it in Ponte Vedra.
Very cool.
And our head of self-defense for women, her name is Gulshan Bano. She is the only women's self-defense instructor that only teaches women and children in the United Kingdom.
Really?
And it's called Strike Back Self-Defense. And she is our head of women's self-defense for the organization. So she came over, and between her and I,
badass individual.
Oh, she is awesome.
Really is.
She's literally
amazing.
She's shorter than I am. She's like 5 foot. You walk up to her, you would never know the things that she can do.
Oh, I want to meet this.
And then, she's awesome. She comes back every year. And actually, we are doing a certification in July of 2024, probably going to take place in one of the hotels in Volano Beach for 3 days to certify. So women can get certified to actually teach this type of self-defense.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah. So we don't just focus on the survivors knowing self-defense, because this is everybody needs to know this. Everybody needs to know this. So that is another one of our big pillars, because we feel like everybody has the right to be able to defend themselves. Third one is special projects. And right now our special project is still rural communities in Kenya.
Okay.
So when we do those and we raise money for the water tanks, we're now working also on sanitation, which is the toilets. And that's a whole nother thing, because there aren't any in a lot of these schools. They're literally
don't even have plumbing. We take it also for granted.
There's literally a hole in the ground.
Yeah, I believe it.
A hole.
Yeah.
They try to put wood. It's crazy. But anyway, that is our special project right now, although we are in the middle and almost done being officially registered in Kenya as a nonprofit, or NGO, as they call it in a lot of other countries. So that is our 3 pillars. As far as our self-defense goes, we also have Stinger Robinson. He is our head of our self-defense in general. He teaches men and women self-defense.
Okay, cool.
Of course, you said about cultures. Cultures are different. Down in the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago, some of those other areas, the way you can use and you would learn self-defense is going to be different than in the United States, Canada, or the United Kingdom. Yeah. Because you got to, as we call it in colors, you got red, yellow, you got white, white, yellow, and red. Well, you're kind of on red when you walk out your door.
Right.
Which is, we're not on red when we walk out our door.
No. Right. Yeah.
We're on white, kind of go to a little yellow.
Maybe a little yellow.
If you're in red, you're on fight mode, right? Which we don't want. So anyway, that is
something, though. I'm telling you.
It's awesome. Self-defense is we really feel strongly about that.
So I'm hearing a lot of a story of courage. I'm hearing a lot of compassion, and you are a courage and compassion dealer in my life.
Absolutely.
So how does Hopefull Handbags tie in with Wildheart?
Yeah. Well, it is kind of funny. It was really kind of a discovery over the years as we got to know each other, how much we really aligned with just a belief in self-compassion, self-perception, self-empowerment. And I think a lot of the work that Cathlene does with survivors, it's really relevant to any one of us. It really is about, now I'm going to say though, these women that work in families that work through their situations, huge amount of courage.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're already up against lots and lots of variables that are pushing against you. But I think, if you think about empowerment, it starts with the decision. And that's really what you said. You've got to be ready. There's nobody that can take you down the path of your life, period. Sometimes we want that.
Right.
Sometimes we just want to say, tell me what to do, and really that's not true. You've got to find it within yourself. And I think that for me is at the core, right? So to be a Wildheart is to embrace life with an open heart and a fierce soul. And what is that? That comes from within you, and that drives what you do. And so, with Wildheart, it's a boutique, right? It's a place to shop and to come and have an experience. But that's not enough for me. I think as a leader in the community, I really wanted it to be more than that. And so I think our partnership, our collaborations really have allowed me to put me into a space where I can support Cathlene and what she's doing, and therefore the women and what they're doing in their lives. And so I think this kind of culmination of things that happens in St. Augustine is something that really solidifies our commitment to our community.
It's almost like an invisible string, kind of like pulling you guys together. And that's interesting how life is kismet like that. I think it just, doors open up, and if you have to walk through them and really celebrate both of your journeys, I think this is going to be very powerful.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So I think and it's fun.
Yeah.
It is fun.
You have an incredible following. You have a lot of super fun and just people that really want to dive in and try something different. What did we learn last month? We learned about the French tuck.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying, girl? You are bringing something to life here. This is great. And you're approachable, and I think people love the experience that you give because it's just so unique and such a vibrant community at Wildheart. So I think that's cool. So talk about this beautiful moment we've got coming up, December 14th.
Yes.
This is not your first rodeo. This is not your first fashion show.
Right.
But definitely something super dynamic and something that's going to be over the top this time.
Yes. So fashion shows at Wildheart are not necessarily typical.
Okay.
So the fashion shows that we have are approachable. So we had a fashion show. I was on here with Amanda last time. We did a fashion show with art.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
And so it's in the store. We empty the store. We push everything outside. We kind of make a little mini shop outside.
Okay.
And on the inside, we have seating and kind of our runway. Well, first of all, the models and the seats are on the same level. There's a lot of, models coming through it and feeling the fabrics.
Cool, good.
Wanting to touch and interact. We interact.
Yeah.
And it's not music, it's me talking. And sometimes the models come up and talk, and sometimes the audience participates and they talk.
Which is
Which
great.
is so cool.
That's so our culture, though, in town. Like, we
It
want to
is.
participate. We want to be active and live.
We do. And that, to me, is what fashion is. It's an experience of yourself, and it's experience with other people. So we're going to have Cathlene. Cathlene has invited a couple of women. I have a couple of women that I know in our community. They're going to join. Real people. Different sizes, different backgrounds.
Love it.
I love that. And that shows really kind of the diversity of what we carry and we bring into the store.
How do you
through
get
our
people
models.
out of their comfort zone, though?
Well, usually it's like, just try this.
Okay.
You don't have to like it.
Right.
You don't have to tell me and I'm always like, look, you can't hurt my feelings.
Right, you can.
If you're like, I don't like it, I'm like, that's fine.
You want the energy.
Yeah, I
with
just
the
want
piece.
you
Yeah.
to be able to try something different. And a lot of times women are like, wow, I would have never picked that. I'm like, well, that's my job, right? So try it. If you don't like it, let's try something else. So it's just one step, and I think that's really where I resonate with what Cathlene's talking about. Because it's like, you maybe are 5 steps ahead, right? Because I'm in a service business, right? So I'm going to meet you where you are. And I don't judge you. We're where you are. You want a plain black t-shirt? Great. Let's find a plain black t-shirt. But you know what? What about scarf? Try it.
Right.
It's just a step at a time.
Or a tunic, like something a little bit longer than a plain black t-shirt.
Sure,
Just something a
what
little bit with a different silhouette.
Exactly.
But still with the same kind of basic. Yeah, I love that. I love that.
But I think the key is that I don't have a goal in mind. You have your goal. And I think that's the difference. It can seem subtle, but that's how you create trust.
Yeah.
That's why people want to come back because it's about the exchange that we're having, not necessarily, I need you to buy 100 things. It's not like that.
No, never.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's one reason why it's always such a great collaboration, because even if you look at the Hopefull Handbags site, we want people to be happy. We're not looking at the victim mentality. We understand that these people that are going through something really rough. And like you said, sometimes this goes into everyday life, right? Like you're having a bad day, you're having something like this. We want people to realize that life can be fun.
Yes.
And not every day is going to be great, but you want to know what? We can wake up the next day and have a different attitude. We can try something new and see how it goes, because you really have nothing to lose.
Yes.
And that's kind of where, even though we're doing 2 totally different things, if you take both things, but they're really not.
Yeah.
You want people to realize you can try one little thing different. And if it starts to feel good, hey, guess what? Maybe that's the direction you need to go in. And so then you can give a lot of loving pushes.
Yeah.
Just like I'm sure, really, because people question themselves.
So what was the moment, Cathlene, that you knew, like, okay, this partnership is going to definitely be fire. This is going to be something super awesome.
Well, I have to say it kind of started just because of Susan, because I like Susan.
I love that.
Same.
Good. Yeah,
I mean, let's be real. And we've become very, very good friends over the years, especially with trust. And then just seeing how everything works together that we're doing. We have the same thoughts about life, the same, heck, we know we all have days that you're just like, oh God, but we know that we can also put that out to other people and say, you know what? We're here to help you get in that direction if you're ready for it. Yeah. And so that it just kind of naturally comes together.
Really organically.
And especially, obviously, her shop is mainly women. Yeah. Right? And then we have statistically mainly women. And it just works so well together.
I love it. And there's so much to choose from. It's just not a shop
it's
for
not.
just one type of silhouette. Literally, there's something for everybody in the shop.
Everything's stretchy.
Oh, I
and it
love
doesn't look stretchy. I always like to say that.
Me too.
It's stretchy, but it doesn't look stretchy.
Yes.
You would never
look. We don't have that.
No.
What did we have back in the late Matt
for
Jersey?
real.
Do you remember Matt Jersey?
Yes.
Banana Republic had Matt Jersey everything.
Yes,
Oh
everything.
my goodness.
Yes.
It was like so stretchy. My goodness. It was ridiculous.
This is not that. It's really about
It's comfort.
Yeah.
It's comfort and it's confidence.
Yes.
Yes.
Love that. I love that.
So we just really work.
So we're putting out the same
Yes.
vibes,
Yeah.
right? Is confidence, self-esteem, healthy self-perception. What you
Yes.
think about yourself really dictates everything in your life. And the first step goes with what you think about yourself. And what are we doing every day? We can't go out with no clothes on. I mean,
True.
you could, but so
Yeah.
what are you putting
Maybe
on?
in Volano,
And
but
maybe,
yeah.
maybe,
Some people do.
You know, some people do. Oh my
bless.
goodness.
Wow. Yes. We can talk about trends some other day.
That
but
is
there are trends that are happening right now that I really would
That
not.
is a whole other
I know.
conversation.
Many
but you-
blessings. I've seen them. I
Okay.
know.
Yeah, if you have certain things covered, you are technically dressed.
Right, I know, right. Yes.
They are very small.
Been do or is it been don't? I know.
But so we're putting out, you know, hey, you know what? You're amazing.
Yes.
Everybody is amazing. We want you to be comfortable. We want you to get the, know what you think and feel about yourself and then feel comfortable in what you're wearing, but also like, I've got this.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, because
Like, I got
here's
this.
here's the thing. When you walk into Wildheart, you're already amazing.
Mm,
It's not like we're like, oh, how can we help you be better?
right.
It's like you've already come who you are.
right.
It's like you amplify the inner advocate.
Yes,
Yep.
it is.
You
It-
definitely
it
turn up the
totally-
volume of that. And it's just like, we all have a roar. So why don't we just get that roar out? I mean, for some reason, we always put it, I always think of Alanis Morissette in that ironic video when in the back seat,
I love it, yes.
You know what I mean? Like, why do we put that in the back
do.
seat? We have to put our courage in the front and really and shine a light on it.
Yeah.
So fast forward
Okay.
to this fantastic
Okay.
event. You guys came up with these really super cool concepts.
Yes.
It's not just a fashion show. We also have ornaments involved. We have some silent auction things going on. Fill me in. What's
got
going
a
on?
lot.
What's the scoop?
So Miss Cathlene has amazing. She came to the store and set up this beautiful, hopeful holiday tree.
Really?
It is so pretty.
Oh, I love it.
And she's a master at trees. I mean, we don't even need to talk about
Do you
how
love
many you have.
Christmas? Yeah.
We can.
I love
but
Christmas,
She's
yes.
Yeah,
right.
you-
So
yeah.
she brought it to Wildheart. So we've got these ornaments, and Cathlene will talk about them. But I brought a couple of. I brought show and tell.
These are so beautiful.
Just
That's
so well
gorgeous.
curated. These beautiful ornaments. So the tree is filled with these beautiful ornaments that Cathlene's mom, who we love, Miss Debbie, did such a beautiful job. She really kind of keeps an eye out, right? I mean, she collects them for this purpose.
Right.
You have such a crafty family.
I do.
Everybody is
She
so
does.
into the
Yeah.
arts.
And
I love that.
they're just so involved too, which is
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
love. They're so supportive, and we just, if it needs to be done,
Yeah.
we're
Right.
doing
I
it.
love it. I love
Right.
it.
We're doing it.
And that makes it even better.
Yeah, totally.
The energy around it,
Yeah.
is so wonderful. So you can come in and you can buy an ornament and, actually you make a donation.
Okay.
And on the back of every card is
Oh, I see
tells
that.
you the donation and what it goes towards, which is just fabulous.
Mhm.
Because it's exactly what you said, Cathlene, in the beginning, which is it goes back into our community.
Mhm.
And sometimes we give and we're not quite sure, and that's okay. But I think this was an extra step
Yep.
to help people to understand. So, like, you've got this beautiful blue one. What does that one say?
It says pay for one night in a pop-up shelter for a survivor and their children. $150. That's amazing.
So and that ornament is your gift for that
Golly.
donation.
That's
So
beautiful.
they're so pretty.
Mhm. They are. They really are.
So you can come and choose, and they run from all different prices.
Okay.
From I think
Oh, yeah, like yours is
15.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this one's
15
$50, and this
Up
one's
to 150.
okay, and this one's fill a medium-sized hopeful handbag that you
Right.
talked about.
And that's how much it costs us to
Is-
put
okay.
necessities inside
Wow.
of a bag.
What a
That's-
cool idea,
yeah.
Kathleen. This is awesome.
yeah, and so you
So
can
you have a takeaway that you can still like envision and think about and pray on and like
Yes.
really meditate with.
right,
And then
and then you get this, and a lot of people are giving these as gifts,
okay.
which is nice too. Like they'll give the ornament with the
card
where
as
it
a
goes
gift.
That's
towards.
so smart.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
cool.
it comes with a little bag, and
Yes, it's super,
perfect.
super cool. Now, the other thing is when you make a donation, you also get entered into a raffle for a Johnny Was blanket.
Okay, fill
Do you know
me
what I'm
in.
talking about?
Nope, help me.
Oh, shoot, I should
It's
have
gonna
brought it.
it's gonna change your life.
Is it like
No.
so amazing?
Oh my gosh.
All right, tell me. I will buy air if you're
these
telling me.
Cult status. They are double fleece,
Okay.
2 pieces of fleece. Johnny Was is really a well-known designer, mostly for the patterns, the embroidery, just incredible colors. They're exclusive.
Okay.
So it's their Johnny Was patterns on both sides. Really big fleece blanket. It washes
I was
like a
just gonna
dream.
ask you, wash,
it
yeah.
never shrinks. It never fades.
Okay.
And here's the thing. Be warned. If you have one of these, your puppies will think it's theirs.
That's my problem. My girls will think it's theirs.
Oh, yeah, they will.
Every day of my life.
No, which is why I literally have 3.
Right. Exactly, because you have to.
I have to.
With the babies. I know.
I want them, and I love, Cathlene, do you remember what you said in the video about what you do in Florida with these blankets?
Oh, yeah. We just turn the air down really, really low.
Yeah.
And then we use the blanket.
Totally, every night.
That's how I roll. Yeah.
I mean, because we know, you're thinking, gosh, why do I need a heavy blanket in Florida? Well, you do.
You do.
It is
so cozy.
And especially like when it comes fall and winter and spring, because we want to feel like it's those temperatures.
You want to feel cozy. And they come, here's another cool thing. They roll up and then they come in a duffel bag of fleece. So it has a little carry thing. Both my girls travel with theirs internationally. It's their big
blankie.
Comfort blanket.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, that's awesome.
So it's valued at $250.
Cool.
So when you make a donation, you get entered into this raffle. It's really fabulous. Like, you're going to want one.
That's really cool. So do you carry them also in the store?
I do. I carry them also. Yeah. I just have a couple left. They're going super fast.
Okay.
Just saying.
Good to know.
So that, the Hopefull Holiday Tree. And I do want to talk about a local artist. You may have heard of him, Michael Fitzpatrick.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so he's all over St. Augustine. He's known as kind of a coastal, he does a lot of coastal work. He used to be in the Butterfield Art Gallery. He's all over. Like, you'll find him at the Alcazar. You'll find him on St. George Street.
Very cool.
So anyway, he
very nautical theme here.
Very coastal. And he's a really cool guy. He is the captain of a boat. He's self-taught.
I love that.
And has just mastered his work. And he came to me and he said, I'd like to donate 5 original pieces.
Really?
For Hopefull handbags. I'm like, that's super awesome.
That's so special.
So each one is different. You've got on my Facebook and Instagram, you'll see each of the pictures that he paintings that he donated. And so we're going to do silent auction. 100% of the purchase goes to Hopefull handbags.
How cool is that?
And that's such exciting. A cool community thing.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. So did he reach out to you or did he reach out to Cathlene on the, oh, wow.
Yeah, Susan.
That's so great.
So the artists, we've got such a great artist community in St. Augustine.
Truly do.
And so I love that, when people kind of jump on board. And I think that's the thing. When we start to cross over things, people start to think differently. Oh, I should do that. I should do that. And so anyway, that's the product of
you're giving a light to imagination too. Like people are like, oh yeah, that is such a great idea. Talk about what they can expect on the fashion show.
Yes.
So like they arrive. Is there like Bellinis? Is there something? Okay. Oh, there is. Okay. Fabulous. Speaking my language. Yes, we can.
Hell yes. It's sipping and shopping.
Fabulous.
You're going to come and you're going to do silent auction on the paintings. Okay. You're going to come and I brought more show and tell.
Oh, good.
You're going to come and do silent auction on, we have these fabulous handbags. Okay. So here's one that's hand beaded.
Holy Hopefull.
Look at that. Isn't that
would
gorgeous?
Just bring joy to anybody.
I know.
This is beautiful.
No, it's beautiful.
It's like hand beaded.
So unique. They're completely hand beaded. They're works of art. So we've got kind of a selection. Look at that one, that Consuela.
Oh, wow. That's
and it's
fun.
Vinyl. And in the inside of each of these bags, it says, make today ridiculously awesome.
And the inside is sparkly.
It is. It's pink sparkle.
Oh, sparkle is just a strategy.
I have some of those bags. I love them.
That is so fun.
They're fabulous. So we decided to do that. So there's like lots of things that you'll be able to do. We also, in the store, we're doing a lot of specials in the store. So, this year, it's been a difficult year.
Okay.
And I think with the economy, it's difficult.
For everybody,
so we want people to be able to purchase things for themselves and gifts for their families and not break the bank. So we've got that. So you're going to sip and you're going to shop and you're going to silent auction. You're going to mingle. You're going to have fun.
Okay.
We're going to sit down and the models are going to come out. And we're going to talk about outfits. It's holiday forward.
Okay.
It's holiday forward, but the truth is I don't really cater to one particular holiday because I want you to wear the pieces multiple times.
I feel like you're more of like a lifestyle culture than an actual moment to moment. Like you're not, this is anything for New Year's Eve. No. It's more of like,
Right.
Gotcha.
But you can do this to make it New Year's Eve.
Right, true. Yes,
or you can take something that seems really New Year's Eve, like, oh, you own those really
I got my black sparkly sequin pants.
Sequin pants that look like joggers, but they're sequin pant. You can do a lot of things with those.
So comfortable.
It's like such a Britney moment. I love that.
I think we're going to put that in the fashion show, by the way.
That would be
That's a little sneak peek. So we'll do that. So then the fashion show happens. We're going to raffle. We're going to choose the winner of the Johnny Was blanket.
Okay.
I have another big raffle box of $300 value. Going to choose. I mean, there's going to be a lot of winners.
I like that.
There's going to be a lot of winners there.
A lot of options for people to choose from, different, like you
Yes.
said, different price points. I like that too. So but I'm hearing versatility is like a really big thing with Wildheart.
Yeah.
Is that important? Like, you're selling major staples, you're selling things, but you're also teaching people how to partner.
Yeah.
What's a really good staple right now?
A really good staple, honestly, is, okay, this shirt that I have on right now, it's kind of a thermal.
It's like a waffle net. Yeah.
It is. It's a very bright color. Choose something in a color that you love,
That you feel confident
that
in.
you would wear in many different ways. That's kind of a little bit different way of looking at staple, but that's how I look at it.
Has the term neutrals changed over the years?
I think it has a little
Like,
bit.
could you ever think of coral as a neutral?
No.
Okay.
I don't think people
You still
would.
think it's like a neon pop?
I think it is. I think
Okay.
it's a special vibe to it.
Right, true,
Right?
true.
It is a special
Yeah, it's
vibe.
special.
I think you're still going to think about your neutrals as kind of the basic colors.
Mhm.
And those are beautiful too. You know, there's nothing more beautiful than a monochromatic neutral base. So top and bottom, same color,
Mhm.
and then adding the accessories around it.
Yes.
So I think as a basic, to me, I like the pieces that I know I could wear multiple ways.
Mhm.
But you know what?
You get more
Here's-
value out of it.
You do. And the bottom line is, when people come out of the fitting room, our dressing rooms in Wildheart, the first question we ask is, how do you feel? How do you feel in that?
What kind of answers do you get?
I feel great. Oh, this is something different. I would have never thought, look at yourself
I
in
would
the
have
big
never
mirror.
thought,
I would have
yeah.
never chosen this for myself. I think I could wear that. Sometimes people will say, no, not me. Fine. Let's go in and find something else.
Cool.
Because I will have an opinion. We all have opinions.
Absolutely.
And I will share it honestly with you. But the truth is you've got to feel the way that you want to feel in it.
Yeah.
Period. How many times have you gone somewhere and you bought something and you got talked into buying something and then you don't use it?
I hate that too.
That's
Yeah.
such a sad moment.
It's almost like the grass is always
When
greener.
it's sitting
yeah.
in the closet.
It is.
Right.
2 years later.
It
Right.
is.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
Right.
Don't do
True.
And if you have something that's been sitting in the closet, you don't know how to wear it, bring it to the store and see if we can help you find a way.
I love that.
Because why not?
Yeah.
We're here as a service for you. So but wait, can I just pause for a
Please.
minute?
Absolutely.
Because I think I have a present for you.
Ooh.
We have several presents, but I have a present for you that I think might become one of your basics.
Is this a cantha?
So the cantha, which has become really one of the pieces that I carry.
This is so special.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Susan, thank you.
You're
This is,
welcome.
I'm choked up. This is
You're
beautiful.
welcome. Wow, I choked.
This is incredible. You guys have no idea how incredible a cantha scarf is.
Yes, and I know, Davey, you're a fan. And so this is a good, I think, representation. Look at that.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Love
It's
it.
beautiful.
That's awesome.
That's beautiful.
So it is upcycled.
Great contrast.
Yes.
It's cotton. It's handmade.
Yes.
This is an Indian. I am half Indian, so
Okay.
this is also part of my heritage,
Oh,
which I
cool.
love bringing into the community.
Yeah.
So it's really their Indian version of quilting and upcycling. So they'll take cotton saris that they've used in their household, and they will patchwork them together, and they're all double-sided,
So beautiful.
and that means they're reversible. And they run a stitch that's called the kantha stitch.
Kantha
That's why it's
stitch.
called that.
Oh.
So the stitch that's run, that's hand stitched to keep it together, but it gives structure to it. And the other thing that's really interesting is they can stitch it, like if they make the stitches closer together, it becomes heavier,
Right.
warmer. If they do it far apart, it becomes cooler. So it's a very versatile way of using material. And I just really embrace that. The
It's so
feeling of
cool.
it, the energy of it. Yeah.
So my house is covered in this. So like I've collected them for years because I have my girls and they're up and they're down and they're on the couch. They're not. So this is great. So then I just throw them in the wash and then I just keep upcycling my house
Right.
with canthas. But they're just a pop of color and I
They
love
are.
color. I
Yeah.
relax in color.
I
As
know
I'm
you
wearing all
do.
black today. I look like I just went to
But look at that pop that you just
No.
put on.
Right? See
That's why you have the base.
It's so pretty.
This
Yeah.
is so good.
Yeah.
Just like
Love
Susan said, you have the base, like your
Yes.
solid
This is
color,
such
and
a
then you
special
put the
gift.
pop
Thank
on.
You
you.
are so welcome. It is my
This
pleasure.
is so special.
And what I would say to you is let that represent what you bring to the community. You bring such beautiful energy. You bring your full self every
Thank
time.
you. I love it.
And, I think sometimes we don't necessarily appreciate that everybody has to overcome something.
Oh, yeah. Especially in this community. I think that's what brings us all together.
I think you're right.
We're all like war buddies.
We all are in our own ways. And that's what courage and couture.
Yep.
Courage and couture. Right? So it's the courage that every single one of us has a story.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of us has been through something. We may even be going through something right now.
True.
Right? So it's being compassionate. And so anyway, if this kind of color can just help you mind yourself that, you know what? I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Absolutely.
So anyway.
That's what color does for me too. Just lifts us.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Just like Hopefull Handbags.
Absolutely.
Lifts
comes back together. We're here to lift people up. And even with Hopefull Handbags, we have some people that come to us, just for the guidance. And they may not have been in a domestic abuse situation, but maybe they've dealt with some things when they were a child or been in some other, whether it's business related or relationships with friends.
Right.
There's so many things.
Yeah.
I say counseling wise, but I mean, we have professionals that we have collaborated with to make that happen if that's what's needed. But it's the same kind of thing. It's just, you know what? We're all human.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're all human. And some of us are just a little more patient and can listen. Some of us have, our brains just work in a different way where we can separate things out, like you said, step by step.
Mm-hmm.
And so those people need to, when they come to us, that's what really they're there for, is some clarity, letting them clarify their own thoughts.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are you hopeful for Hopefull Handbags?
In the future?
Mm-hmm.
To keep growing, but to be able to do some extra special projects as well.
Yeah.
So to keep our special projects going.
Do you ever worry about being spread so thin? I mean, honestly, Cathlene, you really are constantly going.
No. And I think that's gotten better over the years. And I was, a few years ago. It's like, okay, where are we? What are we doing?
You don't want to lose that energy, that momentum. I get it. Yeah.
But when you have really great people that come on board,
true, yeah.
It's not just me. I could never do this alone. I could never do this alone. And of course, I've got Susan, people collaborating like with other businesses and people, and of course my family. But then you've got the other people that are part of Hopefull Handbags, not even in this country, but in others, and they're doing their thing. Like they don't really need me anymore, which is what the goal was.
How does that make you feel?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Now, on my WhatsApp, I'm getting messages. I get messages every day. I'll get questions. And it took just time to build those systems, right? Trust and communication, which I think in any relationship, if you do not have that, I don't care if it's romantic or professional, if you do not have communication first and then trust, it's going downhill at some point or people are going to be miserable. It's not going to work.
Right.
So we also have that amongst ourselves. And so they have access to the systems, I guess is what I'm saying, right? So we've been in going long enough now, whether it be our website, whether it be our forms, whether it be, it goes back also not just the people that we're helping, but we have to have people that are donating as well. So that is what another thing I really love, and more goals is for more people to realize, which it really is with the self-defense, having people come in and learn this stuff. Because when we're charging for our self-defense workshops, which are absolutely amazing, Susan's been to some of them. I mean, you literally life-changing. I am not kidding you.
So
life-changing.
Help me out here. What if you get some naysayers? And I'm not planting the seed of doubt, but I'm just saying, like, what do you say to the people that are like, oh, it's violent and I don't want to learn violence? Like, what do you say to that in that moment?
I say that everybody needs to learn how to protect themselves.
Right.
And that is just the bottom line. I mean, I've been doing some sort of self-defense since I was about 20.
Yeah.
And that is because I have been teaching aerobics for years. I know we have a lot of that kind of stuff in common with fitness.
Absolutely.
But the first time I got you'll see where I'm going with this, but I went to a boot camp class and I was 20. I just had my first baby. And I went in there and the girl comes walking in with a pair of oh my gosh, what am I thinking?
Couture.
Fatigue.
Camo?
Camo.
Okay.
Camo shorts and a camo tank top. She was like my height, and, some muscular stuff.
Destiny's
and I was like,
Child, Survivor. I
was like, okay, this is cool. Oh my God. Like she kicked my butt that day.
I love it.
But she was teaching kickboxing, but she was teaching it as self-defense. And the thing is, it was a love-hate relationship for a while with that class for me. But I kept going back because I was learning self-defense.
Yeah.
So when I got certified, that was the first thing I got certified in was was kickboxing.
Okay.
And I started teaching it as self-defense. After this lady who, after the class number 1, I was like, am I coming back? I don't know.
Right.
Because this was hard.
That was the challenge.
So that's where my love of self-defense came in. And then as I got older and realized, I was a single mom of 2 young kids, and I started thinking of things. Oh my God, I'm going in my car. It's dark out. How do I get in my car? Who am I saving first? Like, I got to save everybody.
Right. Yeah.
So that's how the mindset for me started with self-defense. That was way before Hopefull Handbags.
You're like Matrix mommy. Like, how do I save everybody?
No joke. I mean, when I remember I was living in Jacksonville, I had an older house. The windows were those high windows. And I was like, I had a newborn and a 2-year-old. And I'm like, how am I getting everybody out of this house?
Right.
And I had a plan. I had a little thing there that I was going to step on. I knew how I was going to knock the window out and run out the back. But
Jennifer Lopez.
That's
Enough.
right.
I like it. Yes.
with that combat roll.
Remember that?
That's right.
And the thing that went over the door. Yes. I love that.
That's it. So that's what I would say is everybody needs to know self-defense. And I kind of think of self-defense as it's one of those things that if you probably never have to use it. Right?
But yeah. And let me add to that.
Please
because we've had these conversations about this. So really, there's a self-defense perspective, but there's a really big part of that's self-awareness.
Because she's been
and I've been to it.
The
and
classes.
Really, my background around awareness and mindfulness. I mean, I have a background really in paying attention, being present.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated the way that Gulshan took us through, and that's the cards that you mentioned, kind of assessing. If you had to put a card, are you white, which means you're completely okay, right? You're neutral, you're safe. All the way, and the colors progress to red, which is now you're ready for the fighting. And there's something really important about that I think everybody needs to understand, is that you don't want to get to red.
Nope.
There are many things between white and red that you can be doing, planning for, prepping for. And it's not like, you're going to walk on the street and think everybody is is going to hurt you. It's like, you just have to level it up. And what does awareness even mean? It means you need to look at your environment. It means when you walk into, the Walmart, that you understand where are the exits.
Right.
You have to. So these are things that are very, very usable. And I think, as being a participant, it's scary to go to a self-defense class because
it is.
we're
It's intimidating.
Scared.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hit people. Like, I didn't know, am I going to have to hit someone?
No, but we showed you how if you had to.
We did. I mean, we went through all of it.
You guys, I'm a world champion slap and scratcher. Like, I'm really good.
Hey, and if it comes down to it, we will tell you.
I'm
You
fierce.
do what you have to do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But the awareness, you're absolutely right. Really, we teach also situational awareness. So our goal is for nobody to have contact. That is our goal, is no contact. But if you get to that point, we teach you things that you would not know. Now, my younger kids have been in martial arts now for about, how old are they now? I can't even remember, but like 15 years. And so I feel like I've been following martial arts for a long time, but not all, some martial arts places will teach you some self-defense. But the thing is they're not talking about the situational awareness. They're not talking about what happens before that fight. They'll teach you how to fight, but we don't want to fight. That's our goal, is to be safe and really be aware. And what does it come down to? Our intuition, right? Yeah. You feel like something's not right. I'm going to tell you it's not right.
Right. Yeah.
Get some help, leave, do what you got to do. But yeah, that's what I would tell anybody, is everybody needs to know this. I mean, we even teach...
At least have a basis.
And it's the awareness really is even more important than the actual physical contact. We even have a class that we teach 5 to 11-year-olds. So we kind of break it off. Now, if you're 10 or 11 and you got a parent coming up, Mom, you can go to the adult class. But we even teach kids how to do this. And honestly, using my granddaughter for an example, she still knows it, even what she learned last year, and she did it again this year. If somebody comes up behind her and grabs her, what to do. We need to teach our kids that stuff. We don't want them to be scared. We just want them to know, again, situational awareness. Don't go walking by yourself. I don't care how big, bad, and think you are.
Right.
Don't do it.
Right.
And of course, with the children, we do boys and girls. And we've kind of stuck with the women when it comes to adults, because let's face it, women are targeted differently than men.
100%.
They just
It
are.
reminds me of the song Tori Amos, early 90s or mid 90s, Me and a Gun. It's an incredible song. And it's all about like, she wore this tiny little red dress. And is that an invitation for her to be abused? And it really opens that conversation up. It's like, are you just going to judge me because I'm wearing something that's quote unquote suggestive in your eyes? Is that something that you're also you have to be mindful about when, if you're in a red zone on what you're wearing and how you're crossing the street and things like that?
Well, unfortunately, you do. We wish that wasn't the case.
Right.
But our goal is for everybody to be safe.
Yeah.
And so with Hopefull Handbags, it's kind of coming together. So it's not that we're teaching, survivors of domestic abuse and only them how to protect themselves. Everybody needs this.
Yeah.
It just so happens to go so well together with the passion that I've had now that I'm 52 for 32 years.
And
say
fierce
that.
and fabulous.
And fierce and fabulous. It just happens to go along with that. And we're able to actually do that globally. So for instance, in the United Kingdom, they have knives. That's what their biggest threat is if it's going to be a physical contact.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little bit different than here in the U.S. Caribbean, it's a different concept down there too. So we've also, when you talk about growing and being in different areas, when it comes to that second pillar of the self-defense, we also have to know our laws in our different countries. We've got to know what we can and cannot tell people to do. So we have, we have some attorneys that we've talked to. We have
I'll never go to
police
Dubai.
forums.
I'm sorry, they will definitely do something all horrific to me. So it's part of their culture. So how is Hopefull Handbags such a global effort? And you've got to do these translations of. There's a lot of cultures out there that treat women horribly.
They do, and it's just about learning the culture and also having somebody already in that culture. So, like the countries that we're in, the people that are in charge and are in charge of the NGO or nonprofit in that area, they are a citizen of that country. Okay. So they know. So I'm not, running, the Caribbean. I'm not running. Yeah. But I'm learning about it. And of course, I'm called in when they have a question about, legalities or things like that I can help on a base level as far as an organization goes and how we want to run
the
it.
Foundation level. Got it.
But then typically, we have to get attorneys involved and law enforcement, which we have in every country already, to ask those specific questions to make sure that we're not doing something, we're teaching people the right stuff and we're saying the right things culture-wise. But the thing that I love is that in a lot of these cultures that are so, I say men-driven, meaning the abuse is still something that's unfortunately common in homes. The law enforcement, they're really starting to get behind it and undersee it now. Okay. They're starting to see it.
Good.
And they're starting to have, and some of it is, this has happened in Kenya and it's also happened in the Caribbean where now their police forces are actually having special teams just to work with abuse and domestic abuse. And it stemmed from Hopefull Handbags. Yeah, well, that's, but I have to say, I can't even take credit for that because it's those presidents that are in charge in those countries that said, hey, listen, we're going to do this because if we're going to do this, we're doing it right. And they have no problem going and getting people on board. And then of course, when you get somebody in the government involved and they look around and go, well, heck, if I don't do this, guess who's going to look really bad? Right. So they're like, okay, what do we need to do?
Wow. So have you seen that hand over fist like a lot?
Oh, yes, I have. Definitely.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah. To the point, even little things, like some of the things, they're not little, they're huge. But like in Kenya with the water tanks, the government has finally started to seeing what we're doing.
Right.
So now they're going to some of the schools and saying, hey, can we put a toilet in for you?
Right. See? But you were the catalyst of change.
Because, they don't want to look like, well, we're really not doing anything for our people.
Right. And so now they're stepping in and actually waking up.
That's what our goal is. We don't want to do all this ourselves. We need collaboration across the board. We will do what we can. We'll keep doing what we can, and we're not going to stop. But that's where collaborations come in. And that's where collaborations with Wildheart, since Wildheart's been with us pretty much since you opened, since you started. And that has been really amazing. And, she's one of our safe spaces. So you'll see the sticker on her window that says safe space. And what that means is, obviously, by knowing Susan, that she's trained. If somebody walks in and needs help, she can talk to them. She can do whatever's needed, knows who to contact. We can get the right people involved. Right. It's a safe space.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I love the journey between the two of you because it really has grown
Yeah, it
to
has.
the next level.
Yeah. And I think we have more to do.
I think so
Oh,
too.
definitely.
I mean, I think that, as things evolve, right, it evolves together. And I think, and actually that's what the whole thing is we're stronger together.
Together we are stronger.
So
we say
that,
it over
that
and over.
kind of still continues to come to life.
Do you think that theme kind of just resurfaces in a lot of the different fashion shows too? That because they are like giant works of art that you put together, and it's a mosaic of all these different silhouettes and collaborations and body types and personalities. Do you think that the stronger together theme is always sewn in to the fabric of these fashion shows?
Yeah,
cool.
Because of the nature of it, right? It is interactive.
Yeah.
It's really an invitation for people to come as they are and enjoy each other. Friendships are made. There's a lot of smiling. There's a lot of I just love that.
It's a great.
It's having fun.
Yeah.
Right. Whatever that happens to be around, we want to bring people together.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, I've had situations where individuals are going through very difficult situations and they just show up, right? By themselves, show up. And by the end, it's like, oh, they've learned or reminded themselves that I'm okay. I can have a good time for that moment.
I love that.
And then you take that with you and it builds and builds.
Self-care is not selfish.
Because anytime you get into a situation where you're not thinking about an issue that you have, right? You're laughing, you kind of let those things go. I'm a firm believer, and I've seen it in my own life time and time and time, I mean, all the time, and everybody else does too. If you think about it, those things start to fall into place, or they fall out where they need to and they start going. But so it's a great opportunity for people to get into those spaces and have other people help you get there where that's all you're thinking about is what you're doing right now.
It's
and
just
this is
nice
awesome.
people with nice people.
Right.
Yeah.
It is.
And then what
It
happens
is.
is all of those things really, I've always had this vision in my head that all those things that are not that great are working themselves out and I don't even have to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Because this is what I'm
You said a
doing.
couple times trust is such a big deal. So how do you trust going into an environment like this?
How do you trust going in? Well, I think you have to take a leap.
Good.
I mean, you kind of know enough information, right? So you we're here talking. Really, honestly, what you see is what you get.
That's 100%.
I mean, it really
genuine
is.
human beings. Yes.
So that in and of itself can be an invitation.
Yeah.
So all we ask is you just take a step and try it. If you hate it and you're not digging it, go leave.
We'll figure it
You
out.
probably won't because if your intuition, and that's what I think, like if your intuition is giving you a little click of, oh, well, see, and those are the things that most people ignore. Now, think about the amount of times that your intuition, right, your gut or whatever you want to call it, has said something to you and you've been like, and you push it to the side.
Right.
Well, and then you think back, I knew that.
Right.
I knew that.
Just
So-
like the saddlebag I should have bought.
See?
No,
I knew
It is those things.
Yeah, it is. It's
It
those
is
little
those
things.
things.
Right.
So even if you're like entertaining the idea,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be entertaining the idea if
Right.
it wasn't something that you actually think might be pretty darn good for you.
Yeah.
Because if you weren't entertaining it, you'd be like, not doing it, whatever. It still could
Because
be
not
good, but you're not
everybody's
there yet.
entertaining it.
Right.
Sometimes we also think that I'm just, everybody thinks this way. But actually that's not true. And that, what you brought out is great because where does that trust come from? It has to come from within you.
Right.
Amen.
You have to learn. And here's the way to do that. Think of a situation where you didn't trust your intuition and you went into it and then something happened. Okay.
Right.
Don't beat yourself up. Use that as feedback
Right.
to say, okay, next time I'm gonna bolster myself. And then think of a situation where you did follow your intuition. And think, oh, wait, how did that play out? And use that feedback. Teach yourself about how these things work. And so sometimes these little things, like you said, we kind of blow off, can be little. Like, should I talk to that person? Should I ask that person a question? Should I, should I go to the fashion show? Should I call Cathlene and talk to her about what she's doing? All these little things add up to a life of self-trust.
And those little things actually, they dictate where your life goes, right?
Absolutely.
So that's why when I talk about self-perception and say it dictates everything in your life, that's what I'm talking about. And sometimes I'll ask myself this question, and I ask survivors this a lot and people that I work with. I'll say, what would you tell your child to do if they have a child? Or what would you tell your best friend to do in this situation? What would your advice to them be? Because we always give people that we love and care about the best advice, right? I talk to myself a lot.
Me too.
Like a lot. I will even say
Yes.
ask myself these questions.
Right.
But I think not a lot of people do. They
But
really
I wouldn't
don't.
accept advice for somebody that I wouldn't trade places with. You know what I mean? Kelly Clarkson actually said this quote, and I thought that just resonated with me the other day because it was like, yeah, because there's so many people that are going to give you advice and they're going to like try to steer you.
Well, I don't mean
in.
advice though. I'm talking like, so for instance, if I'm asking myself a certain question, depends on the subject, but I might think, okay, well, what would I tell my daughter to do
Yeah,
in this situation?
Okay.
Because honestly, I don't want anything but the best for my kids.
True.
I would not steer them in the wrong direction. I am not looking at this in the wrong way. Same with my parents. You know what I mean? Like people that you care about so much. And for everybody, that's different. And that's why I mean, like sometimes it can be a friend, whatever. Like somebody that you truly care about so much that you would never steer them the wrong way if they asked you. Because it's not really advice. It is like, what if they were asking me my
Unconditional.
opinion?
Yeah.
What would I say? Would I say, go ahead and see how you feel about it?
Right.
You have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, and then if you're like, feel a little bit like, oh, well, like especially if you know like the history of the person they're talking about. Should I go with that person?
Right.
Like, well, how's that worked out the past 3 times?
True.
You know,
Absolutely.
like,
How
has
many
that worked
times?
out? You're going to make your own decision, but let's think about that. Just like you said, thinking about what's happened before.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not any different.
Yeah. It's a way to really learn that you there's one person in your life that always has your back.
It's you.
And it's you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You married yourself first.
It's
for better or
it's
for worse.
true.
You were number one.
Right.
That's okay.
So it is okay. It's
so
actually
stop taking
wonderfully.
advice from
Yes.
the peanut gallery, to be quite
Right.
honest.
Listen to your intuition. She got you to
absolutely.
the door.
It'll
Yes.
get you there. And that's why sometimes if we don't know if we're listening to our intuition, that's why I like to ask that other question to myself. I'm not asking anybody else for advice. I'm asking, what would I say to somebody else?
Right.
So it's almost like coming back again, like you said, where it's just a circle of
Cathartic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Everything is so fluid. And that's the truth. I mean, we are not in control. All we can be is compassionate and curious about what the next level is going to be.
That
The
is
energies we put out there is what we attract.
true. Yes, it is.
So tell everybody again,
Yes.
big
Okay.
night coming up.
Yep. December 14th,
All right.
Thursday evening. Wow, that's next week.
Yeah, here we go.
5:30 at Wildheart Boutique on King Street.
Okay.
Grab a ticket because if you grab a ticket, you get a seat. We did have standing room only last time,
Oh, that's fun.
which was really cool. But
Okay.
if you want a seat, do that. Come in, donate. Yeah, check out the ornaments.
Ornaments are great.
Have
I
a
love
good
this.
time.
Now, these are available all day long, right?
Up right now.
The
You can get
tree
it.
is up. The lights are
Yes.
on.
So cool. How many? What
Yeah.
store hours?
11 to 5 p.m.
11 to 5 p.m.
Wednesday through Saturday.
Fabulous.
So come and see us. And then we have parting gifts.
Oh, boy.
We have parting gifts for you and for Clay.
Okay.
Okay, Clay?
I love when Clay's involved. Oh, look at this. The
Okay.
old fashioned.
Right. It's a candle.
Ooh.
Smells like an old fashioned.
Oh, that's heavenly.
And Clay, you've got one.
Oh, Clay got Aperol with a twist. Ooh. Let me smell that one. You might be getting the
Thank
other
you.
one.
Yeah, you guys.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get this one. This is more him.
I
Yeah.
love candles.
You like
Oh,
old
perfect.
fashioned, yes.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
You guys, this is going to be incredible. Please save the date. Come on out, December 14th, Wildheart Boutique. Hopefull with 2 L's because that's who we are, baby. We're extraordinary. Yes,
That's
I love
right.
it. Please come out. I love these 2 individuals. Follow them. Share this show. You're incredible. I'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless you all. Big hugs. Bye, boo.